Hi, welcome back to Poorly Explained.
Excuse me. Sorry. My bad.
Here's the really big Ultraman.
Great.
It took me about 3 weeks to watch this, and I was struggling, honestly. Because this Ultraman is, at first it takes itself, it's more lighthearted. Like, it's not like, oh no, we got this, well, they do have this big bad threat, the entire thing, so. But Cosmos doesn't really kill monsters. He's very against that.
Okay.
He's kind of the first one to just be like, yeah, I'm not just gonna murder every monster that I see. I'm gonna protect it. And I love it whenever they're like, we're gonna start protecting this monster, and then they just start firing missiles at it. Everybody, move in to protect. All right, fire the missiles. So the organization they're with is the SRC, Scientific Research Circle.
Okay.
And Ultraman is part of the Team Eyes.
Like eyeballs?
Yes.
Or...
Yes.
Okay, I mean, sure.
Yeah, they're the elite young expert squadron.
Okay.
So, Cosmos' bird monster gets infected with a light virus, allowing it to go into chaos form. Cosmos uses his pendant, given to him by the previous Cosmos as a kid, to transform. I should probably start with the prequel movie instead of
Okay.
Yeah, so he's got this pendant that he got from Ultraman, that he got from Cosmos when he was a kid, because he did a thing, and he spins it around, and his bird really likes the noise.
Okay.
It whistles.
Cool.
And yeah, so it turns out the rock was not just a rock, it was the Ultraman power-up thing. Anyway, I'm going to skip ahead real quick to the prequel. So, Not Yet Cosmos saves Cosmos in the woods when he nearly dies. The Bolton dad wants to conquer Earth, and as per usual, and the Defense Force makes everything worse whenever they're on screen. Bolton dad dies, and the children decide to leave. So, I'm sure you don't remember the Boltons.
No.
They were the big bad in, Ultraman Ultimate Hero, I think? The American one. Boltons are a recurring alien.
Okay.
You remember the episode in Ultraman, the first one, where Ultraman just fucking genocides an entire species?
Nope.
You're killing me.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, no, so the Boltons have been around since the beginning.
Okay.
And, yeah, my favorite gag from this movie is his dad is a police officer, and they live basically in the backyard of the police station. So, like, he's like, I'm clocking out, boss, and he gets on his bike. I'm home, babe. He's like, I'm going to work. I'm here, boss. It's really good. Yeah, no, the Boltons wanted to invade like they usually do, and when their dad dies, they're just like, you know what? We'll go home. Whatever. Unfortunately, the Boltons are sort of pivotal in the next two movies. But we'll get there when we get there.
Okay.
There's a Bolton child who possesses one of Ultraman's friends to stop the invasion. Anyway. Cosmos joins Eyes to help save monsters, but it's mostly met with apathy towards this goal. The light virus, now called Chaos Header, infects another monster, and Cosmos' bird shows up to help. Cosmos' plot device takes a questionable shape.
Is that the one where he's like, what is this?
Yes.
Okay.
Probably. The local monster Spittle tries to close an airport permanently because it thinks the planes are coming for its egg.
Okay.
An alien toy is abandoned on Earth and adopted by children. After finding out it was meant to be scrapped, the toy goes on a rampage until Cosmos shrinks it to toy size.
Okay. I mean.
See, it was a very large toy.
Uh-huh. And but it would still. Fucking hell, man.
Yeah, I don't know what you're thinking either.
It's just like you shrunk it, but like it could still do stuff.
Yeah, but it's mostly dead now. Like its battery ran out. So Cosmos shrinks its corpse and gives it to the children. And the children are like, when I grow up, I'm going to become a scientist and make batteries for this idiot toy.
Maybe don't.
And the kids are like, well, you're going to be an adult when you're a scientist. And he's like, well, I'll just give it to my kids. They can play with this idiot toy. And I'm just like, wow, that's real fucked up that Ultraman just gave him the corpse.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, I mean, I know it's a robot and all that, but still. The Spring Breeze duo, Cosmos and his biggest hater, go to Hater's childhood village to investigate truck-eating fireflies, which turn out to be the Chaos Header.
I thought that was a virus.
Yeah, it's they're like little bugs made of light and whatnot, and they look like fireflies when they eat this truck.
Okay, why do they eat trucks?
Chaos! Also, they I think they make a monster out of like junk and whatnot.
Okay.
And yeah. The Team Nerd has to learn to fly the third jet and fish, so his plan to wrangle a giant mole goes off without a hitch. See, they got 4 jets. He can fly the first, second, and fourth one without issue. For some reason, the third one is cursed, and he can't do it. Also, his plan is to fish up the mole, so he has to learn how to fish from his dad. And his dad's like, fuck you, son, you're not a fisherman. So his mom calls him, he's like, hey, so fishing is like, you gotta like, put the hook in the water, and then you gotta reel the thing in. And she looks over to the dad, and she's like, is that right? Aliens drop off 2 monsters in a box containing a note that reads, get wrecked. After opening the box, one monster goes on a rampage until Cosmos destroys the starfish controller on its forehead.
Okay.
The other monster, I think some kids found it, and I think they beat up the starfish thing, the controller, with like baseball bats. So it didn't become a giant monster.
Okay.
Cosmos goes to the dream world to fight a CGI sheep that causes people who see an aurora to take an endless nap.
Alright.
Nobody believes a child when he sees Sasquatch, and Sasquatch gets mad when the child leaves the forest. The kid's father, who was once friends with Sasquatch, calms him down by showing him his treasured nut. A 5,000-year-old stress reliever is found and absorbs enough stress to go on a rampage. Cosmos pulls the No You card on it by reflecting his stress energy back into it.
Okay. Then what?
It explodes and they put it back in a box.
But it exploded.
It got smaller.
Okay.
The gang fights over who gets to go on vacation first and decides to settle the argument by who can remove some bones from a construction site. Cosmos turns the billboard into a CGI abomination.
Why?
Because the bones was sad that he didn't have a child.
Okay. I don't. Okay, whatever. Like, I don't. I don't understand.
Well, there was a construction site. They found some bones.
But suddenly it's like the bones wanted something, and I'm like, why did
the bones always want something? Always. You must satisfy the bones. They tried they tried a lot of methods to get it out. Like they tried pulling it out. The nerd was like, "Hey, what if we get like this big old salad with a fan and we blow the smell of the salad into the cave, and it'll be attracted by the scent and it'll come out to eat, and then we can just carry it away." And then the comms lady's like, "What if we use a giant robot cat toy thing?"
I thought these were bones.
Yeah, it's a monster made of bones. This happens.
Is that where the fucking when did you have time to make this?
Yes.
Picture? Okay. Yeah, that was dumb.
Every 500 years, a bug appears for one day, and the gang has to protect it from the defense force because Hater's ghost sister said so.
Why is she a ghost?
She dead.
When did she die?
Years ago.
Okay. Fine, whatever.
Cosmos rescues a space corpse from an alien who was using her as a means to infiltrate the base using a biochip. See, there was this satellite that she was working on, and she got sucked out into space.
Uh-huh.
And the alien put a biochip in her, and they collected her. And the entire idea was that they would bring her back to the science base, which would allow the biochip to activate and fuck up the science team. So the alien could, yeah. The alien could invade or do whatever he was doing.
This feels very specific.
I think this is a follow-up. The alien's plan was to make eyes and monsters look bad, so humans would eventually drive themselves to extinction.
A lot of writing on this one group.
This group's very important.
Clearly.
The Spring Breeze duo has to fix an underwater shield and they get attacked by a monster, knocking Hater unconscious. Luckily, he's very adept at piloting a submarine while unconscious. See, I thought this was going to be a character trait that he has, because in the episode they're like, yeah, he won a karate tournament, but he was unconscious. Like, he was just... He fought in the tournament. Just... I don't know. This never comes up again.
Okay.
I thought it'd be a really cool character trait for this guy to just be like super good at things, but he has to get knocked out and he doesn't know it. But no. The Chaos Header possesses a girl and creates a sky whale. She merges with the whale and is defeated when her friend decides to share her dream of swimming with a whale in the Dominican Republic. That's where you can swim with whales.
What does that solve, though?
She's like, yes, I am no longer mad at my friend. Because her friend was like, your dream is stupid. Swimming with whales, that's a bad idea. You can't do that.
Uh-huh. And then what did that accomplish?
Well, she
Did she unfuse with the whale?
Yes.
Okay, what happened to the whale?
They died.
Why?
Ultraman killed it.
I thought he doesn't kill monsters.
This is a monster made of chaos. It's fine. He doesn't kill regular monsters. He kills aliens and chaos.
Okay, whatever.
200 billion aliens from another dimension want to invade and fix the overpopulation issues with humans, to fix the overpopulation issues, they'll shrink them down to 1/100th size and build tiny towns for them.
For who?
The humans.
But But they have 200 billion. Like, they're already the problem.
No, it's fine. It's a peaceful migration.
Okay.
A vengeful spirit is released when construction workers blow up the sword stone binding it. It rampages until the team leader calls its behavior shameful for its age. See, it was a Romeo and Juliet story. They got killed, and then they fused into a giant monster. And the team leader's like, "Yo, how old are you? That's so shameful that you're trying to like fuck up people. You should go away." They're just like, "Oh damn, you got called out. Okay, well, bye."
Wow.
A rogue satellite destroys a passing by spaceship, and the sole survivor wants revenge. He pretends to be a cool hot guy to gain access to the computer to use the satellite to crash into the space station.
I thought the satellite was the problem.
Yeah, so there's a satellite that was supposed to be deactivated.
Sure.
But it wasn't, and it blows up his spaceship.
Yeah, I got that. And then, but why is he taking revenge by destroying a space station? What does that accomplish?
He was mad and nearly dead, so he didn't care. Fuck your space station in particular.
Okay.
Cosmos gets transferred to the spaceship department because he's overworked. Unfortunately, they're using technoplasma, and a monster is craving some. Okay. Yeah, and then he gets sent back to Eyes. It was really dumb. Team Eyes has less than 75 hours to go to a planet that has left orbit to save Cosmos' friend from the Space Pharaoh and redirect the planet. So this planet is coming in, and they're like, yeah, it's just going to pass by. Oh no, it's coming straight towards Earth now. We're going to fire a super missile at the planet, blow it up, and... Oh no, your friend is up there? Well, that's too bad. Oh no, a Space Pharaoh? He's also up there? That's also too bad.
How did he get there?
The Space Pharaoh is the guardian of the planet.
No, how did his friend get there?
Spaceship.
Why did he go there?
To study it.
Okay, but... Like... I don't know. It's just, there's something about that just kind of doesn't make any fucking sense, but like
No, it makes perfect sense. What are you talking about?
I guess for me it's like in the time it would have taken to like know that this was happening, plan the mission, and send the guy there. I feel like by that time you would have noticed that it was going to collide with the planet, so you wouldn't send the guy there.
The orbit changed long after this guy went. Like they
that doesn't.
like his friend went up there months ago, or something like that, and yeah, now that it's gotten closer, like shit, it's getting really close. Ooh boy. Anyway, the gang discovers the only way to shift the planet's orbit is to expel the Chaos Header from the Space Pharaoh.
Okay.
The Worm of 1,000 Faces wants to return to its meteor, so it pretends to be various people in college.
Okay.
You see the there's a little meteor chunk, and they're researching it. And so when they moved it, he fell out.
Okay.
And so they moved it to a different building. So now it's biting people to become that person, so it can get over to its meteor. And then it falls in the fucking like growth ray machine. Like they're chasing and they're like, and it trips into a fucking machine. And they're like, "Doctor, what was in that gas?" He's like, "Growth rays." And then it bites Ultraman so we can have a mirror match.
Should have turned into the human form. It would have spoiled everything.
No, what? I mean, it probably should have, but that's not how we roll here.
No. Facts and logic? Nah.
Well, he was in the Fuck. Was he in the Ultraman already? He might have been in the Ultraman already. So he might have sucked the Ultraman blood, not the human blood.
That's not... That's not... I don't know, man.
An electrical monster is on the loose, and only the astral projection of a boy and his crystal can stop it. See, this kid's in a coma, and he stole a crystal from the monster when it was still small.
Mm-hmm.
And he astral projects to the comms lady, and it's like, "Hey, please don't electrocute this monster. That's a bad idea." I don't remember. I think they stick the crystal in like a missile and they shoot it at the monster, so he eats it and then dies. Then he wakes up from his coma.
Okay.
An alien girl does some recon on whether Earth should be destroyed. She concludes that yes, it should be, until Ultraman and the world's most desperate for a date doctor gets shot. The doctor becomes a recurring character, and I hate him.
Is he worse than the guy from the first Curie movie? Do you want to have children?
Yeah, he's kind of that bad. Because, like, he will say that to anybody.
Okay.
The Chaos Header kidnaps people to absorb emotions and self-destructs after witnessing love between a father and son.
Why?
It just got overloaded. It just looked over.
So, like, the idea that that's what did it is just... That's not even what you would think would be, like, the most overwhelming, but...
Yeah, no, it just looks over and sees a dad hugging his son, and he just fucking explodes. Eyes has to guide a pregnant monster to the ocean before it overheats and explodes.
Is that how it gives birth?
No, it just gets really hot when it's pregnant. So the idea is it was supposed to land in the ocean to cool down and whatnot. But because there were fireworks on the beach that night, it crash landed in the mountains. And it hates the smell of gunpowder. So they're trying to guide it away from the town. They shoot a gunpowder or a fireworks rocket at it or whatever. And they lead it down towards the ocean. But then there's these fucking assholes who are like, "Yeah, party time! There's a monster coming this way! Get the fireworks ready!" And it almost turns and walks towards like this fucking reactor. And then I'm sitting there going, "Ultraman, Cosmos, please. I know you have fucking squirt gun hands. Why are you not using them?" And then he uses his squirt gun hands. And he just says, "Fuck," and I think he just throws the monster into the ocean. Cosmos wants more power to aggressively protect monsters, and the captain tells him that's probably not a good idea. Cosmos accidentally protects the monster too well, and it dies, causing much grief. Everyone's really fucking sad. They're just like, oh, dang, oh, this monster, oh no, he's dead. And then the next episode, he's back.
The monster?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Reeling from his guilt and not being able to save the monster from the last episode, Cosmos tries really hard to save it this time. Unfortunately, it was a trap, and the Chaos Header to drain him of his energy. Cosmos needs to be recharged and absorbs the light of a solar eclipse, giving him more merchandising options.
There's less light in a solar eclipse. Like, why? Why?
It's special light.
No, it's the same light.
No, this is special.
Oh my god.
The Chaos Header possesses Cosmos' toy robot and has it eat a whole bunch of cars. Cosmos has to hit its microchip with a fully charged Courage Beam.
Okay.
Cosmos refuses to test the Super Tranquilizer because it's not as tested as the tried and true method of punching monsters in the face to capture them.
This coming from the man who wants to save monsters.
Yeah, he wants to protect them.
By punching them.
Yes. Eyes has to protect a monster from a Defense Force man with a revenge boner against all monsters.
Fair.
An underwater statue is awakened by pollution. It's put back to sleep by Seashell. See, they put the Seashell on. It makes a special noise, so they put it on a pedestal. And Nerd Guy and his girlfriend are looking at it like, it's not working. He's like, I figured out the puzzle. You put it on backwards. So he fucking just rotates it and puts it down, and it's real good. Aliens set up a cult in a phallic building to steal emotions. The resulting monster is immune to attacks, so Cosmos has to fill it with his love.
Okay.
Sasquatch returns and goes to town. Meanwhile, Eyes is preoccupied with a runaway ogre heading towards the same town. Sasquatch uses his size-changing abilities to shrink and steal the ogre.
Was this established?
That
prior?
That Sasquatch could change size?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, Sasquatch was the monster of the week in that one episode where Sasquatch appeared.
Yeah, but
why can he shrink the ogre? I don't know. I think he just held on to it and then was like, shrink.
Okay. Something about these is coming off as like, it's so dumb, vapid, and just devoid of... It's completely devoid of logic, but on such a base level that, like, I can't even have an argument with it. Like, I'm just sitting here like, okay, whatever, they defeated the weird monster by the seashell. Like, what the statue came to life, and they put the seashell on, but they put it on backwards. It's like the seashell makes noise. Why? I don't know, it makes noise.
That's just what seashells do.
It's not even a conch. You're not blowing into it. You just put it on a fucking pedestal.
I think it was kind of a conch.
Yeah, but you're not blowing into it. You just put it on a pedestal.
The wind from nearby, it'll...
But you didn't state that as the thing.
It's fine. It's what... You hold the fucking conch up to your ear and it says oogly boogly.
Oh man,
it was a magical conch. Hader tries to retire when a monster he fired the super bomb at returns and threatens the town. He later defuses the bomb. I think Ultraman pulls it out, and Hader was walking down the street at the time. He's just like, I can defuse that.
Okay.
Cosmos is outwitted by a bean salesman who only stops his giant robot when his daughter calls him dad. You see, the bean salesman was possessed by aliens. And he's like, I'm going to destroy this planet. And then he's like, but this girl called me dad, so I guess it can't be all bad. Anyway, bye. The Chaos Header makes repeated attempts on stealing Cosmos' power, and eventually just turns into Chaos Ultraman.
Okay.
Chaos Ultraman kidnaps Cosmos and plans to turn all the protected monsters into their Chaos forms. Cosmos is freed when Hater puts some antibodies and rocks in his gun. You see, monsters possessed by the Chaos Header, they get antibodies to it. To, do what antibodies do.
Okay.
And somehow they get a sample of that and some rocks that the Chaos Hater hates. Chaos Eater. Header. Fuck.
Uh-huh.
And he just puts that in his gun and he just starts shooting at it, and the Chaos Header's like, fuck.
That doesn't, like...
Look, the Chaos Header hates moon rocks.
I mean, that's actually the less dumb part of this. It's the antibodies part that makes no fucking sense, because if the Chaos Header is the stuff that is the chaos, it's not going to have an immune system that kills itself, so the antibodies don't do a fucking thing. they're just there, and they'll stick to it, but they're not going to do what antibodies do, where they signal to the immune system, like, kill this. They're just going to be there. And I mean, at least there's something I can argue with. Like, that's better than any of the rest of these episodes have done.
Terminators and Transformers try to kill the daughter of the Jolly Green Giant. And later an occultist who gets infected with her seed.
Again, like, these episodes just keep turning into, like, just spin the wheel for plot elements.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just nothing makes sense. There's no internal logic. And the Chaos Header isn't even necessarily the problem all the time. I think? I don't know. It's unclear.
It shows up a lot more than I'm making it sound like. But it's usually just, hey, it's infected this monster, please kill it. Please use your light ray to expel the chaos, and all will be good. A meteor causes all space communication to cease, except for a high schooler's cable internet, which he uses to learn of a monster from the Space Orphan. I mean, I guess not the Space Orphan, a Space Orphan, I'm sorry.
Okay. I mean, again, it's just like, there's nothing. Like, I have nothing. I just have to sit here and just accept, because, like, there's... It's fine. I'll save my rant for when this is over.
Aliens plan to save the show's budget by remodeling previous monsters into cyborgs. And they kidnap Ultraman, and they're like, hey, we're going to do this, because, we can make so many things with cyborg monsters. And Hater shows up, he's like, yeah, no, that's the last guy you should try to convince.
Okay.
Because, like, Cosmos is, like, all about saving monsters and letting them live peacefully, not turning them into cyborgs.
Okay, but why would they think that, like, why?
Because he's Ultraman.
It doesn't, like, that...
Because he's the only one on Earth that they can communicate with. And it just so happens to be the guy who would hate this the most.
Yeah, okay, but then how does that allow the other guy to come up and be like, you guys fucked up? Like,
Because in his human form, this guy is very vocal about not killing monsters. About aggressively protecting them with missiles. And
wait, did they kidnap Ultraman in his human form?
Yes. Yes.
Why?
Because they knew he was Ultraman, and he was the only one they could communicate with. They're really dumb. They didn't see his kill record on monsters, and they just assumed that he'd be fine with them remodeling some old ones.
I don't... why do they need his permission? Why do they care?
Because they didn't want to fight him.
Yeah, but if they turn the monsters into cyborgs anyway, they could just... That's a stronger negotiating position.
Look, it's fine.
Okay.
The 200 billion aliens who are trying to emigrate, they're back, but they're thwarted by the science division, who only wants a peaceful immigration. Cosmos doesn't destroy their device that would leave them stranded between dimensions. They get to come over, and they're like, please, Cosmos, do not destroy the warp gate. We'll go somewhere else. We won't stay on Earth. We'll leave. And Cosmos is like, yeah, sure, whatever. Have fun with the Chaos Eater.
Okay.
The oldest employee of an amusement park decides to leave, but not before almost starting interplanetary war.
How?
Well, you see, the employee is a monster who for some reason can repair rides and whatnot, and they send in the defense force to kill it, and one of the guys poops his pants and he shoots at the. So they're bringing down their own space amusement park because he's from amusement park world.
This plot convenience drives me nuts.
And one of the defense force guys accidentally shoots it, and they're like, "Okay, we're gonna fire all our weapons." And so the defense force is like, "Well, they're gonna fire first, so we got these tanks, and we're gonna fucking shoot." So Cosmos goes up there and deflects their beam, and then he turns around, and he's just like, he stops all the tank shells with his psychic powers, and like everybody's fine after that. He collects all the shells and he brings them back to the defense force, just drops it in front of them.
Okay.
An alien doctor tries to keep his village safe by eating all the pollen in the area. It backfires and Cosmos has to send the pollen to space. You see he turns into a giant monster after eating all.
It's just pollen. Why? Why would that happen?
It's space pollen.
Why is it space pollen?
It comes from flowers from space.
Why are there flowers from space? What is happening?
Well, you see, like, a meteor landed years ago, and on the meteor there was flowers who have now taken root on the planet. And the doctor has to go up there and absorb all and eat all the pollen. So
why is that his solution?
Because the pollen's toxic and it would kill all the villagers if he didn't do that.
So he eats it.
Yes.
So stupid.
Hader's would-be girlfriend returns after being lost for 3 years, but is now a space vampire who wants to eye his computer data.
Why?
Invasion.
Alright, whatever.
So, it's two parts. There's a giant monster and then space vampire lady becomes the wings, like a jetpack for the monster so it can fly. It's a symbiotic relationship. It's going to come up again.
How is she a vampire?
She sucks blood. I mean, isn't that like the prerequisites for being a vampire?
I mean, kind of. There's also the bad element and I don't know, being dead and.
Well, I mean,
because at this point it's like a mosquito's a vampire.
I mean, she went missing for 3 years in a thunderstorm when she was flying her jet. So, like, I know I've seen jets be struck by lightning before. I saw you get struck like 3 times and you didn't die, but like she was gone. Anyway, the alien from the Space Corps episode returns to turn Cosmos and the Defense Force into regular corpses. Remember the lady with the biochip who they were gonna put in the base and then
yes, yeah, the chip was gonna do a thing, I guess.
Yeah, no, the alien he calls up Cosmos. He's just like, hey, gonna show up here at midnight. Bring your friends. And then he shoots Cosmos in the face, putting him into a coma. And then he sends another message. He's like, hey, showing up at midnight here too. Bring your friends.
Whatever.
Eyes watches over the final moments of a monster only for it to resurrect and then die again. Only to resurrect and become beneficial space creatures.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just it's like a beetle, I think. And it fucking falls over and dies, and Eyes is like, yeah, I guess we'll just watch over it. We're not gonna kill it. It's gonna die with or without us. And then it gets back up, and they're like, ah, shit. And then it falls over again. Then it becomes space snow. Those are the beneficial creatures.
I feel like my brain is dying.
Don't worry, we still got 15 more episodes.
Are you fucking kidding me? I thought we were done, like... I honestly thought we were getting to the end, like
20 episodes ago?
Like
Yeah.
10 or so ago. I don't remember. Whatever.
Animal smugglers smuggle a baby monster and inject it with anti-growth hormones, growing it into a giant monster that Cosmos leads to the city. You see, this specific monster feeds off toxins, and inside the anti-growth hormones is toxins. So it just becomes really big. And then Cosmos just fucking leaves it. It's really good.
Okay.
Chaos Header's natural enemy appears, and the Defense Force uses their super weapon against it. So there's a thing that can eat the Chaos Header.
Uh-huh.
Because it's got special enzymes. And Team Eyes is like, hey, we need those. And,
Fair.
And so the Chaos Header, being the wily enemy that it is, attracts the monster over like a military base. And the Defense Force is like, look, it's getting really close. We need to kill it now. We can't protect this one. Here are our missiles. Anyway, these fucking enzymes become a big subplot.
Okay.
Because, even though the monster's dead, they can still use them.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's whatever.
No, that makes sense. They just harvest the corpse. It's fine.
An alien and a monster get stranded on Earth and just want to leave before being exposed to the toxic atmosphere. The alien steals Cosmos' transformation device because of its reputation of indiscriminately killing monsters.
Why would that...
Because the alien's like, look, you kill a whole bunch of monsters. That's all you do here. I mean, there's only 5 episodes where you did it, and we're 50 in, but that's 1 out of 10 monsters you kill. You're a bad person, Cosmos. I can't trust you with my idiot friend monster over there.
Okay, so what did that accomplish?
Basically, Eyes repairs its shield that it's using to protect itself, and then the aliens come back and they pick him up. It really meant nothing.
I was gonna say, like, what's the conflict? Like,
the conflict is the alien didn't want to trust the humans. And Cosmos had to make the alien trust them. So Team Eyes comes in with their missiles that can repair the monster's barrier. And then the monster gets really happy and walks into an electrical line. Breaking the shield, becoming an aggressive monster, and then I think Ultraman puts it in a fucking bubble. And they're like, oh, I see that I was wrong about you the whole time, Cosmos.
completely, absolutely wrong. Well, I mean, I guess that does add up, but
A time-traveling snail arrives and dies. Everyone wants to use his time powers, but more snails arrive and resurrect it, and return to the future.
like actually Return to the Future?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why this fucking snail decided to come here and die, but it did. They're like, yeah, no, 5,000 years in the future, it's evolved to be able to time travel. Why? Shut up.
Is that implying that snails in the future will gain the ability to time travel?
It might be.
That's so fucking stupid. Whatever, man.
There's a part where they gotta shoot it to protect it. And it pauses time and just like scooches out of the way. And they're like, look, he teleported.
Effectively.
Oh, it's so good. The captain feeds it some mysterious food. Like it's green and slimy and whatnot, and I don't know.
Why?
Because they wanted to make it not die. It was sick. But
so
then
he fed it random shit?
Yes. But then it died, and you know the aliens who wanted to who wanted to save the budget and convert things into cyborgs.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, yeah, we can save it with our implants and whatnot. Please give us a time snail. And everybody's just like, that's a bad idea.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
And the defense force is like, look, we let the time snail die, and then we do some autopsies on it, and we'll get the time powers.
Maybe.
And then, no, just more snails showed up, and we're like, you guys don't deserve our dead brethren.
Well,
And now it's no longer dead, bye.
I don't fucking know, man. Just no, they're really just hucking darts at a dartboard full of bullshit.
Oh, I'm sure they were just drawing shit out of a hat.
Both are effectively the same.
A monster wants to see a girl it saved 10 years ago, so it sends its replicas to her old neighborhood. She sends her replica to it and enrages it. Cosmos teleports her to solve the long-distance relationship. Yeah. They basically made a teleportation machine. But it doesn't teleport, it just sends a replica of whatever. It's a 3D printer.
Sure.
And I don't know how the monster got this ability. It just had it. And so she's like, look, I don't want to see the monster. He ruined my life. The monster made me into a public figure for protecting monsters. And that meant I couldn't have friends. And they're like, look, you just need to see. You promised it 10 years ago that you would come back to see it. And so they hit her with the replica machine because she's like, I'm not going to see it. Like, I'm just not. And Monster looks at it once and goes, yeah, no, that's fucked up. What the fuck did you do? Why did you send me this bad CG? And then Ultraman uses his teleport hands to just send her over there. Just rubs his hands together, shoots a beam out.
I don't... Like... It was already pretty stupid, and then it's like, no, he made me famous, and then I couldn't have friends, so I don't want to see him. And this entire conversation is taking place about I assume a human, but I could be wrong, and a monster.
It was a friendly monster.
I don't care.
It got shot in the face several times to protect her.
Still really, really stupid.
Speaking of really stupid, the Get Wrecked aliens, they come back and they claim the monsters were a test to see whether or not Earth is good people.
Oh,
and
sure.
They're like, yeah, Cosmos, you kind of invalidated the test results. We're gonna have to hold you in this little time bubble for a little bit, and we're gonna send the monsters back out, and we're gonna see what happens. If the humans try to kill the monsters who are actively attacking them, we are going to determine them to be bad, and we will kill them.
You know, now, anytime time powers are involved, I'm just going to assume they're powered by snails.
Well, I guess it wasn't like a time bubble. It was kind of more like a pocket dimension kind of deal. But effectively, he couldn't do anything to stop the monster until he could. I think Hater says something along the lines of, we can't kill this monster. We have to protect it. With missiles. And I think that's good enough for the aliens. And then Cosmos slips out and Operation Drop Baby on Giant Monster occurs.
Is that where that one image of, like, the big thing and the little, like, the mini version with hull up with balloons?
Yes. A village tries to cover up Kappa crimes. The Kappa gets shot and Cosmos wrestles it until it forgets.
Forgets what?
That he got shot.
Okay.
You see, this village is made up of old people, and the Kappa is like their kid, and these hooligans come in, and they're throwing beer cans in the. You remember how GMK started with all?
Yes.
It's that, and the Kappa like jumps out of the water and just fucking punches a dude out, and then he gets arrested.
The Kappa gets arrested?
No, the dude.
Oh, okay.
Because one of the guys on the police force, like the commissioner or whatever, like a guy pretty high up. He comes from this village, so he knows about the Kappa. And he's just like, no, we're gonna. The teenagers got drunk. They got into a fight, and that's why we arrested one of them. Definitely wasn't Kappas, I swear. Anyway, one of the village elders, he has like a heart attack or something, so they're taking him to the hospital, and the Kappa's fucking running after them. And Cosmos is like hanging out the window, like, no, go back home. If the people see you, there will be problems. And so he turns to go home, but a police officer on a bike shows up. It's like, ah, shit, monster, shoot it.
Okay.
And then Kappa gets big. And then Cosmos sumo wrestles it. And everybody cheers. An old man summons a monster to go back to his memories, but decides against it at the last minute, wasting everyone's time. Most importantly, my time.
So what? It's just, I'm about to do a thing that'll cause a thing, and then he's like, never mind.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, he's looking at the doorway to his memories, and he's like, you know, all that stuff belongs to me of yesterday, so, you know, I don't have... Me of today doesn't have a reason to exist in the yesterday. Anyway, when this door is open, because the monster comes through a fucking doorway, the person who opened it has to disappear from the timeline. Bye! He just fucking vanishes.
Snails are a cruel god. Fuck it. The snails are now time gods. I don't even care at this point.
Hater's Space Vampire X has a twin who, with her partner, are upset that one of their friends exploded. They leave because of whatever. So in the episode where the space vampire lady shows up,
Yes.
I believe she is defeated and the monster is like, fuck, and then self-destructs. So now Space Vampire X's twin and her friend have gone against their clan.
Uh-huh.
Because they want revenge. And they're just sort of convinced, hey, whatever. We'll just leave. Who gives a shit?
It's exciting.
Sensing the completion of the Chaos Chimera, which is the enzymes to defeat the Chaos Eater.
Oh, okay. Alright. I thought that was a monster.
I don't blame you. I would also think it was a monster. The Chaos Eater sends in Chaos Ultraman to stop it. Chaos Ultraman is defeated, but gets a power-up to become Chaos Ultraman Calamity.
Okay, but by what? The Chaos Header? Like,
Yeah, they just shoot him with another beam, and they're like, yeah, now he's stronger.
Why did they do that from the beginning?
Okay.
Okay.
Chaos Ultraman Calamity keeps dunking on the Ice Crew until they cheat, and they shoot him with the Chaos Chimera.
How's that cheating?
Because their facility that... So they couldn't make more of it. Like, they couldn't get it to, like, germinate or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And so they only had, like, a small sample of it, and they're just like, well, fuck, I loaded up into the gun and shoot him. Got him.
Okay.
The Defense Force isn't satisfied with the progress on the Chaos Header, so they repurpose the Bean Salesman into a giant robot, who surprises everyone when it goes wild.
What?
You remember the Bean Salesman from like 20 episodes ago?
I don't remember him having a robot.
Yeah, he had a robot. That was his... Well, I'm pretty sure I put robot in the description.
I mean, I don't remember most of anything. I just remember thinking you said beam salesman.
No,
and then it became bean, and I was like, oh.
Yeah,
okay.
I would say this isn't the Heisei era, but this is still the Heisei era. So beams are, there.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, no.
Beam. Sorry, just the like, I don't know.
But yeah, no, so they repurpose it, and they use some moon rocks, and they're like, yeah, no, these moon rocks, this will keep it going for a long time.
A lot of moon rocks.
Yeah, no, the moon rocks are very effective against the Chaos Eater. For reasons.
And apparently a power source.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, no, it goes wild, surprising everyone. No one saw that coming, I swear. Nobody saw the giant robot called Hell's King going wild.
It's fine.
The Chaos Chimera is completed, but before Eyes can use it on the Chaos Eater, they need to eliminate Chaos Ultraman again.
The Chaos Chimera they launched at it didn't take care of it?
No, it took care of it. But here's Chaos Ultraman again. He's a different one.
Sure.
So they fire more Chaos Chimera at it.
Okay.
See, they can just... They can just make more Chaos Ultramans.
Oh, okay. I mean, sure. Why not? Like,
the plan to destroy the Chaos Header is postponed when Chaos takes over the eye space. It just makes a barrier over top of them, and they're like, "Hey, you aren't doing anything. Stop it." And then it gets on the TV. It's like, "Ultraman, we hate you. You're lame." Cosmos goes to the moon to fight Chaos Ultraman again with the help of his moon rocks. Chaos Header is revealed to be an artificial life form to bring order through assimilation. Cosmos ejects his host after the fight.
well, I guess they're the ones calling it chaos, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like, it isn't the chaos. The Chaos Header itself is not calling it.
Not until it learns that they've been calling it chaos, and he's just like, "Yeah, that sounds kind of cool." You see, because they sort of gained sentience around the time when they were doing the kidnapping, stealing emotions and whatnot. Their plans kind of change a little bit more. Like it gets more elaborate than just, "Hey, infect that monster." I mean, it's still, "Hey, infect that monster," but.
Okay, what did you say he did at the end? What did...
Cosmos ejects his host.
Oh, okay.
He's like, "Look, I'm dying. You're dying. Let's die separately. Get in the spaceship." Because they're on the moon.
Sure.
Alright, Chaos Hatter's had enough of this shit. He's going on. They're setting everything down now. No longer Cosmos tries to reason with it, but to no avail. No longer Cosmos hijacks Cosmos, and together with three monsters, they shout at Chaos Hatter until it has to change heart.
That's pretty lame.
Yeah, no, they're just like, "This isn't you, become good," or some shit like that. "Here's some light beam." And the monsters are just like, we're monsters. And the Chaos Hatter's like, "I see, love is good and all that, bye." But no, I thought it was really funny because Cosmos' host, with his stone, can now just hijack Cosmos' body. Usually it's the other way around. Usually that's reserved for the Ultramans to do the possessions, but no, with the stone, you can just do it. Alright, moving on to the specials that aren't the prequel. Ultraman Cosmos 2, the Blue Planet. Earth has to team up with aliens hiding under the sea to combat aliens who want more desert real estate. See, there's this alien group called the Sand Loss. And they show up and they turn planets into deserts. And they did that to the first alien species who were hiding under the sea, who are now trying to recreate water for their planet.
Okay.
And it's really dumb. A second Ultraman appears to help Cosmos out. They don't tell you who this Ultraman is. They just show up and they're like, "It's me. Okay, bye."
Okay.
Ultraman Cosmos versus Ultraman Justice, the final battle. So Ultraman Justice and the Universal Justice decide Earth is beyond redemption and they plan to reset it. They show up with like, "You guys got 35 hours. Make your peace." And they put Cosmos in an alternate dimension for safekeeping. Because, Cosmos is kind of against the whole reset the planet deal. Justice has a face turn when all of Cosmos' monster friends, they turn up to fight her robots. By the way, Ultraman Justice, lady.
Okay.
Don't know why it's not Ultra Woman Justice, but whatever. But yeah, no, she sees the monsters. She's like, "Oh, hey, they're fine. Why don't the monsters want to be killed? Is that what Cosmos saw on this planet? The monsters didn't want to die? I mean, okay, fine. It's really just the humans who are going to be the problem.
Okay.
So, Cosmos is returned by the power of friendship, and together with Justice, they fuse into Ultraman Legend. And they tell Universal Justice to go fuck off.
Okay.
Yeah.
You should have done a Rider Touch. Both red motorcycles. Or one of the stupid fucking things that the dual Ultraman had to do.
I don't quite remember what they did. I think they just touched hands in space. Because they were falling into the atmosphere.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I said that the Bolton kid was kind of important. The Bolton kid's the reason why Earth can team up with the underwater aliens. And then it's kind of the reason why they're like, hey, if you all, like, stretch your arms out and remember all the good times that Cosmos gave you, we can bring him back. It's you know the scene in Dragon Ball Battle of the Gods when all the Saiyans have to get in like a circle or whatever for Goku?
Yeah.
It's that.
Okay.
That they all start glowing and it's really dumb.
Okay.
Yeah, no, so that was Ultraman Cosmos. I don't think it needed to be 65 episodes and 3 movies. It really did not need to be 30 hours. And hey, I got it down by 29 hours.
Yeah, I don't... like it felt like it started to get more coherent as it went, but like it really just it really felt like nothing of consequence was taking place.
Yeah, no, nothing of consequence was there. It was all just, hey, there's a monster, we gotta protect it. Fire the missiles.
Well, it really just felt like random problem, random reason for the problem, and then there might be a random solution, but like it really, there was just, I don't know, it just really felt like there was just nothing. Like there's no real connective tissue other than the fact that I guess the Chaos Header was behind why these monsters were doing things, but
Look, this was just a story about how maybe Ultraman doesn't have to kill everything he sees.
yeah, but like somehow by including a sort of restrictive element, it maybe it doesn't have anything to do with that, but this really just felt somehow it was boring because like it was boring because there was like it just felt like there was nothing. Normally when you think something's boring when it's like you understand it, it's the same thing that happens all the time. This was boring because like there's nothing to engage with. There's no logic. There's no consistent like it's boring in the same way that I guess like random filler episodes would be boring, where it's like this doesn't matter.
Mm.
So like why I don't know, like I really just feel like every episode was like this thing is taking place for this completely dumb, random, very simple reason. And it doesn't leave room for anything interesting to take place. It just is what it is, and it happened, and we're moving on. And it's just like fucking like you're reading it to me, and my brain is just like shutting down, and just like it's just like no meat to it. It's just it got better slightly as we went, and there were things that I kind of wanted to pick apart, but like it really shows in where like 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 having to listen to this coming off of like continuity warning, like we just watched a Godzilla movie. Like in that movie there were random things that were stated that later got used and came back into play. And yeah, this just felt like I don't know.
I mean, I'll be honest, when I was watching, I'm like, man, you did not need 65 episodes for this story. You could have cut like 20 of those. I don't know why you needed 65, but here we are.
Like the thing that bugged me is that like it took them forever to even figure out that there was a problem and that problem needed solved in some way. Or at the very least it wasn't no one was being proactive about solving the underlying problem. We were just solving the problem of the day. And then finally it's like, oh, here's a convenient solution, and then we're going to work on that. And that helped, because suddenly now like a story can only be so interesting when every part of the hero group is completely reactionary, where all they're doing is responding to random shit that's happening. And it's like, yeah, but like they gotta do something. They gotta have some agency at some point in the plot, otherwise like you just end up meandering.
No, it's fine. It only took us 40. When did the plot comedian show up? That was pretty late. The idiot monster who could eat the chaos header.
Yeah, but even before then, they started to kind of latch onto the idea that the chaos header was a thing.
Yeah, that was the second episode. Well, it literally shows up the first episode.
Okay, but
and then they're like, "Hey, there's a problem," but they don't do it. Like you said, they're just reactionary.
They're not actively trying to do anything about the underlying problem, because they just have a magic like do the thing, expel the thing from the monster, but they're not going after the thing that keeps infecting the monsters, that keeps causing all the problems.
Okay, it was 51 episodes in that they try to start wrapping it up.
It's like a year, dude. That's assuming there was one episode a week. That was a year before they.
And that might have been one of the episodes that didn't air. The lead guy got into some legal trouble, so like 5 or 6 episodes didn't air. At least that's my understanding of it. So that could have been one that just didn't show up. I know it was a lot of the later episodes, like between like 50 and 65. but yeah, no. I thought this was subpar, honestly, when I was watching it, because I'm like, guys, I get that you wanted to make Ultraman not this guy who kills everything, but, like, that's fine. He's not doing anything at this point aside from kidnapping monsters, taking them to a special island, and putting them in barriers. And then only 3 of those fucking came back. And one was his stupid fucking pet bird. And I don't remember the other 2. They were pretty generic Godzilla things.
Mm. Yeah, no. I mean, a lot of Ultraman is pretty... Like, okay. Like, this felt very run-of-the-mill, and the problem is that we're... Like, how many fucking seasons of Ultraman deep? Like, it's...
Oh,
you can't be this generic, this deep, and expect it to just...
This would be 14 if you don't include Ultra Q and the Ultraman anime.
Yeah.
And probably some other filler nonsense.
Yeah, because this felt really dry.
Well, hopefully Ultraman Nexus isn't. But I got good news. After Nexus, I think things start, like... They start ramping down on quantity. Because at some point, we're going to start getting to sub-30 episodes.
Okay.
Which is going to be really nice, actually.
Yeah, but all that's going to mean is that, like, I'm going to come here and it's going to be like, I have 3 for you. And I'm going to be like...
No,
let me muster up the energy to react to...
No, I'm gonna try to not give you... I'm gonna try to not stockpile them, because I got other stuff I want to watch that isn't Ultraman.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to... I'm gonna try to get you the poorly explained, and while I'm waiting for that, I'm gonna watch other stupid stuff, and that I'm not going to explain to you.
Okay.
Alright, well... We will see you later.